6 million.
7 million. Never leave the cave without it.
Hey everyone, from MediaWorld. This is a video response / review to Wildmutationblu's 200 sub competition. First of all, to say congratulations on the 200 subs, mate. Well deserved for sure. You've done some really great quality videos, and I'm really glad that people are noticing you more and giving you more quality feedback. And it's really fantastic. I'm really glad to see that your channel is growing and growing, and you'll probably get even more subs after doing this competition. So fantastic stuff. He's giving away 3 steelbook prizes. One in which he's giving away Batman and the Dark Knight steelbook, which is one I kind of got my eye on. So that'd be pretty awesome, yeah. And the question he's asked is, do like a short review on your favourite Batman movie. Now, I've done a previous review on the Batman Begins and the Dark Knight in a previous video, so it'd be a bit pointless me doing the same review twice. So I thought I'd do a review on the previous Batman movies, kind of the 80s and the 90s Batman movies. There is one that I do have in my collection, that lot, that I still really enjoy watching, and probably a nostalgic movie for me. A lot of people are probably going to disagree massively, but this is one of my favourite nostalgic movie, in a sense, Batman movie in a sense, from the 90s. So I'm going to do a review on that, and hopefully you enjoy the video. So yeah, I'll get straight to it, and the movie is Batman Forever. Oh yes, I know Batman Forever is not the best Batman adaptation movie out there, with Christopher Nolan's movie so current and amazing, but this is one of my favourites growing up as a kid, probably a nostalgic movie for me during the 90s, and I want to share the reasons why I like this movie and why it is still in my current collection. So I'm going to do my typical review style. I'm going to talk about the storyline, talk about the characters, the genre, and just give a couple of reasons why I enjoy it. The story for Batman Forever is generally quite simple and basic. Batman is an established character now from Gotham City. I got the feeling that he was more of an anti-hero within the first Batman and Batman Returns, directed by Tim Burton. This one is more of an established character. Gotham know who he is, and he's more of a hero for someone to look up to, kind of thing. And the main villains in this one is Harvey Two-Face and the Riddler. And of course we get the rise of Robin's character, the sidekick. Now, I like this movie quite a lot because it focuses on different aspects of Batman and Bruce Wayne. It's got a similar story arc to Spider-Man 2 in a sense. The idea of identity and seeing himself as 2 separate people. Bruce Wayne is one person, Batman is a separate person. Someone once he puts that costume on, gets into that state of mind, he's a different person. It's kind of like a split personality in a sense. And I really like the psychological elements to this movie. And the storyline kind of focuses on the idea of identity and cross between revenge and justice, and I kind of like the balance between those two, and it's done really well. The movie is directed by Joe Smoonraker, who has done, of course, a lot of shit movies, but he's also done some pretty decent movies also. Phone Booth, I really enjoyed that movie, that was one of his best ones. And a couple of other movies I enjoyed, but he has done some really shit ones, of course, like Batman Robin. That was atrocious, that was an abomination of a Batman movie. This one I thought was a nice balance between a kind of a dark storyline of Batman and a little bit of a comic-y kind of graphic novel edge to it. It was kind of like a balanced mix. As I see the movies, first Batman movie was dark, Batman Returns was gothic. This movie I thought was cool in a sense, between the dark elements and the kind of lighter elements, and the other one was just, what the fuck was that? I do not know. But in this movie, as I can see from his directing work, he is good. He can bring some decent scenes, and he can do some really emotional, and he can bring some drama to these characters. One of the scenes I thought he did quite well was, of course, when he's having this flashback, Bruce's of his parents dying, and he kind of blames himself, and we get a really interesting kind of see for that scene, and we see kind of flashbacks of his parents dying and stuff, and he goes I killed them, and we get like a really interesting kind of story arc to this Batman, this Bruce Wayne, and he kind of blames himself for the death of his parents, and he kind of like one of the reasons why he's doing what he's doing, and I kind of like those elements. So I think he can do directing work really well once he's got a good script. If the script is shit and if he gets full control of anything, then he will go overboard. And of course, this movie was co-produced by Tim Burton also, which explains kind of the dark tones to it as well. So it's kind of a nice mix between like a gothic and a bit more of a cool Batman movie. So I think the direction work was quite well in this movie. The action scenes and the actual style of it. Okay, the style was obviously very graphic novel, very comic-y, kind of bright lights, locations, and it didn't really bother me that much, to be honest. You know, it was a very different approach to look at a Batman movie. It didn't really bother me that much, to be honest. But you know, I can live with it. I can live with it. It kind of reminded me of a Sin City type thing, you know, feel in a sense, but of course, you know, not as dark and gothic. The action scenes I thought were pretty decent considering the 90s. You know, I think there actually was some pretty exciting scenes, even still today. There was a little kid in me still that is still really excited to see some of those scenes, and there is some cheesy lines, there is some cheesy moments. One cheesy moment which I seem to really enjoy was the scene where the back signal's in the sky, the Riddler's obviously put this kind of green glow to it, and because shut it off, he's not coming. He turns around, the music rises, and then the doors goes where he goes, yeah, go, and then Batman goes. And I think, I like that scene. Oh my god, I like that scene. I don't know why, it is unbelievably cheesy. It's something I wouldn't see, something in only other circumstances I wouldn't like, but I really enjoy that. And it's a little kid going, yay, kind of thing. And yeah, I gotta admit it, yeah. So yeah, as you can tell, this is a nostalgic movie for me. I really enjoy this and what it brings to the table, and it has enough for adults to enjoy as much enough for kids to enjoy also. Okay, so the characters, Val Kilmer plays Bruce Wayne and Batman this time around. I thought it was a great, fantastic choice. He managed to pull off Bruce Wayne and Batman. You have to do both, and he did a fantastic job. I really liked his character, and I really liked the performance that he gave. Nothing wrong with Val Kilmer in the slides. I think he's a great actor. His performance, he managed to mix a lot of that psychological elements between, you know, Bruce Wayne and Batman, and I like his scenes and how he approaches certain things. One of the characters is of course Robin. I forgot the actor's name who did it. Let's have a look. The actor, Chris O'Donnell. His performance as Robin I thought was good in this movie. He was actually he is okay actor. You know, I haven't really seen much of him, to be honest, in other movies, but in this movie I did like his performance. I did like his take upon Robin. You know, of course, his parents, you know, got killed by Harvey Two-Face, and he kind of wants revenge in this movie. He's out. He wants to take him out, kind of thing. And Bruce Wayne kind of takes him in, kind of into his mansion, and he understands, he gets it, and he doesn't kind of like say, you can become my psychic straight away. It takes a little time, and of course Robin's character finds out, and he is Batman, and there is some really great scenes with his character. One of the scenes that I really enjoy and I think is really interesting was when Robin first gets up his like fitting mini suit, he's kind of like basic kind of suit, and he saves Batman. Got to a scene in the Batcave. Bruce Wayne or Batman is getting undressed, getting his costume off, and Robin is just giving this speech, and it's a really interesting speech. The music is done really well, the lighting is done right, and he kind of wants. He says to him, "I want revenge. I want to, you know, to kill Harvey Two-Face. He took my family away." And Bruce Wayne understands, and he's saying, "What happens if you find him? You know, you killing them. Then what? You go out one night, you find another Harvey, then another Harvey, and then you realise one day revenge to become your entire life." And I like the lines and the dialogue that done between those characters. You know, Batman understands. He knows what he's going through, and he wants to save him before it's too late. You know, he wants to revenge also with the Joker killing his parents and all that, and he can't give it up, kind of thing. He wants to save him because, you know, otherwise you find out, you know, you're going to become this person, this really dark and really depressed person, revenge type person the entire life, and he wants to save him before it's too late. And I love those aspects of him, and of course Robin goes off. He goes, "No, fine then, screw you, I'm going to go and get revenge anyway."
Revenge is a dish best served cold.
So they're becoming partners. Doesn't happen straight away, kind of thing. It takes time, and they have to build up a lot of trust, and I kind of like that. It's not just happening like that. It takes time, and things have to happen throughout the movie. I really appreciate that. Another character of the movie is Nicole Kidman's Dr. Trace Meridia. Her character, I thought was meh. first scene within the movie, Batman's coming down, he's swinging, and he jumps down, and what she goes, ooh, hard entrance. It's like, and then the next scene after which, she's like basically taking her clothes off and saying, you can have me, Batman, kind of thing. And it's like, nah. Nicole Kidman is a very beautiful person, she is good looking, but her kind of character in this movie is just weird. It's basically like a James Bond movie in a sense. You can have me kind of thing. She falls in love with both Bruce Wayne and Batman kind of thing, and it's like psychological elements, kind of thing. It didn't really bother me as hugely much, to be honest, but I just thought her character was a bit meh, and the love interest didn't feel natural, it didn't feel right. There were some scenes which are really pretty good, and I do like her with some. I like the scene where she's kind of kickboxing and she's like, Bruce is helping him with Riddle. I like that scene, that's quite interesting, and to show him that dream doll kind of thing, I thought that was quite good. But the love interest doesn't really work it for me, it doesn't feel natural, it doesn't feel right, and this was a bit meh. So yeah. The villains, now of course, Tommy Lee Jones plays Two-Face. In this one, I thought he is really over the top in this movie. I thought he played a good Two-Face in a sense at the time, kind of thing. We've seen a different version considering the Dark Knight. Yeah, he was okay. It's nice to see Tommy Lee Jones having fun, having a bit of a mess around. The only reason, if any of you watch the extras, got the special edition, the only reason he took this role is because his son is a massive, DC and Batman fan, and when he found out that they offered him a role to play Two-Face, his son really wanted him to, and that's the only reason he did it, mainly. He doesn't do super movies in the sense Tommy Lee Jones doesn't, so to see him in this was quite surprising, and he did it because his son wanted him to, and he became like Father of the Year because of it. So I can appreciate that, and I can appreciate the reasons why. And to be honest, he was at the top, he was ridiculous, and he was a bit all over the place, and it's nice to see Tommy Lee Jones just laughing and just being completely mad in his role. It didn't annoy me in the sense I thought he did a good Two-Face, and there's some good elements and good scenes that he does have, especially with taking out Batman and all that stuff. But it's nice to see Tommy Lee Jones having a bit of laugh and a bit of fun and all that stuff. And I like the toying, and I like the ideas between those two halves. And yeah, I thought his performance was good. Was at the top, wasn't brilliant, but I can live with it, kind of thing. Next villain, of course, is the Riddler, played by Jim Carrey. Perfect choice as the Riddler, completely mad, very over the top, but that works with Jim Carrey's character as the Riddler. He was a bit over the top, and I like him as like I like him, destroying the Bat Caves and breaking the entrance and all that stuff, and I like his kind of scenes, and he is over the top and mad. But he also plays a good alter ego as well. He plays two characters, kind of like Batman and Bruce Wayne, with Edward Nygma, and he plays a kind of like a toned down version, but it's how's them all kind of thing, and I kind of like that aspect of it, and I like his kind of wackiness to it. The only thing was disappointing with his character. I thought the riddles could have been so much harder, could have been a bit more challenging. I think there could have been a fantastic scene where the riddle could have been like really tough, and they had to really figure out very time consuming, very edge gripping scenes. The riddle was really too easy and really simple, to be honest. So that's a little down, but maybe we can see that later on in adaptations. We've probably seen that in animated series, and maybe in the future we might see a different adaptation of that. That'd be pretty cool. But to be honest, I like Jim Carrey's the Riddler. I have no problem with that in the slightest. So yeah, the characters I thought were good enough, to be honest. There was some decent acting in this movie. It's not terrible, it's not horrible or anything. The villains I thought were three-dimensional. Even though they were over the top, there is more than just meets the eye kind of thing. So overall, I think the direction looks pretty decent in this movie. I like the last, especially the last half an hour of the movie, with Batman and Robin teaming up kind of thing, and there's some really fantastic sequences, especially when Robin's kind of beating the shit into Two-Face, and he goes, "This is my mother, this is my father," kind of thing, and he's basically about to kill him right there and there, and of course he's like, "I'd rather shoot you in jail," kind of thing, and it brings some sort of like redemption to his character. He wants him dead so much, kind of thing, and Batman kind of teaches him you don't have to go for revenge, go for justice, kind of thing, and he kind of teaches him manners and certain ways and aspects. I kind of like that, I appreciate that. I like the last sequence when Jim Carrey's kind of like, why can't I kill you kind of thing, and he goes, I realise I'm both Bruce Wayne and Batman, and not because I want to be, because I choose to be kind of thing. I like that kind of like realization and kind of his acceptance as two characters now, and he can put certain demons to rest, and I kind of like the movie overall feel, to be honest. Soundtrack I thought was pretty decent in the Batman movie. I enjoy the soundtrack. It's probably 90s ones, U2 and all that, fantastic. Direction was pretty good, also said. Action scenes were decent in the 90s. It's got some really great moments, really good scenes, and it's it's not just wacky in some areas. It's got some really dark scenes, and I like the Batmobile on this one also. It's very, very good. So overall, I found this a probably nostalgic movie for me. Not everyone's going to feel the same way. Everyone's going to have a really cold shoulder about it. But if you can see it in that kind of light, in that sense, rewatch it in that look, you might appreciate it, you might like it a bit more. But that's just my opinion at the end of the day. Now, I do have the special edition on Batman Forever. This is the Uncut edition. If you're going to watch the movie again, only watch the Uncut edition. It is a 12 certificate. It adds a bit more extra scenes in, make it look a bit more wild, and I really appreciate this version. I like all the extras. Watching the extras and the Dark Knight saga and finding out like the making of it. They worked a lot. They worked really, really hard on this movie, and it did well in the box office. It made a lot of money, and it was a well done Batman movie. They saw it in different aspects, and it was done really, really well. You get trailers, you get the Shadow of the Bat, the cinematic saga of the Dark Knight, part 5, kind of this like really fantastic kind of saga extra, really fantastic. You get like the making of the suits, the making of the Batmobile and visual effects. There's deleted scenes and extended scenes in there, which I can see why they took out. Don't really need them, kind of thing. You also get like a trailer. You also get music videos and stuff. Special edition is definitely worth picking up. I've had this in my collection for so many years. I bought this when Batman Begins was coming out in cinema, so been a while. So I definitely recommend it if you're in the mood to watch it again. Definitely recommend the Uncut edition only. Give it a watch, see what you think. You might see it differently, of course. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I like Batman Forever. It is a nostalgic movie for me, and there is some good elements to it. So yeah, that's my opinion on Batman Forever. So I hope you enjoy watching this review, and I hope the video wasn't too long, even though my videos are long. As always, I'm going to put a link in the description below for his channel and the competition. It's only been out today, so we've got 2 weeks, so enter yourself, do a review or not. And in the meantime, it's Andrew from Media Fun Game TV, signing out.
And here we go.
Like me, like me, like me.
Look at you go.
Like me, like me, like me.
Look at you go.